Okay, morning, folks. I've just left the picture from last night, the model run from midnight. This is the sort of low pressure system that's going to be lingering around for a few days, and you can see the swirl around it was bringing all those fronts and trough lines across us yesterday, lines of showers and heavy rain, occasional thunderstorms, and it moves slightly today, but we've still got this northerly sort of wind and the circulation around the low. And you can see how much the isobars have compacted over the last 12 hours to give us, a fairly fresh northerly wind today. Various models are showing different sort of strengths. The Met Office are saying at flying heights, and remember, we're somewhere in between these boxes here and the ones down here. So 35 knots as a minimum, I think, at 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Possibly even stronger, certainly later on, looking at some other forecasts. From 330, 340 degrees, so not quite dead northerly, pretty much down our short runway. The TAFs for today are showing less in the way of showers, that's for sure. Farnborough, they're saying on the ground 310, 14 knots, and that's pretty much what was reported on the airfield first thing this morning. Few at 2.5, becoming between 9 and 12, 20, gusting 32 knots. I think it will, as the thermal activity picks up this morning, get gustier, possibly a little bit more than that. One or two other sites are suggesting gusting 35. Gatwick's giving the same sort of picture. It says there between 10 and 13 UTC, 20 gusting 30. So yeah, it's going to be pretty blustery, and the further east you get, the stronger it gets, and the more chance of really strong gusts with the showers. And you can see that by both the satellite picture and the rainfall radar. This is this swirling low pressure. There's the eye of it there, and it's feeding down cloud across here, and associated with areas of that where the bright areas are in here and down through here is where the rain is currently located. This is probably about half an hour out of date, and you can see the rain disappearing off. And most of this will fortunately stay over East Anglia, maybe touch Cambridge and down through Kent. It's going to miss us for most of the day. So I think little chance of showers, but very, very, very strong winds. It's going to get quite soarable by the looks of all the data, but whether you'd actually want to take a launch during the mid part of the day will depend on how it feels on the airfield. So soaring wise, that's 11 o'clock. It's saying cloud base should go to 3,000 feet. And as the day goes on, sort of 1, 2 o'clock, thermal's going to 14, 15, 1,600 meters. So 4,500 feet should be possible today. And cloud amounts, you can see to the east of us, and I think over Kent and Cambridge, it's going to be pretty overcast at times, lots of effects from the cloud spilling around that low pressure. But out over us and to the west should see cumulus. I'm not entirely sure why they're showing this big blue gap and strip up the centre of the country. Seems a bit odd, but it is predicted data. I think we're going to see, quite nice looking cumulus over us for most of the day, and as you say, cloud base going up to probably around 4,000 feet. The other issues to look at today, top meteo are showing it becoming gusty over us. That's the 30-foot winds. So by 12 o'clock, averaging 27 to 30 knots around us and to the north of us. And then gusts at that time also possibly in the 35 to 40 knot bracket by midday. So keep an eye on that, folks. I can already see, looking out the window, the trees are thrashing around. As I say, Ed has had a look at the airfield today because he'll be running things at Lasham, and he said it's about 15 knots out on the airfield with occasional gusts. So they're going to contemplate club flying to start off with, obviously with K21s, and they'll see how it goes. Right, it's looking 24 hours forward. It's beginning to drop off as the day goes on Saturday, and I think it will drop and reduce a little bit. So probably only maximum 25 knots northwesterly on Saturday. Still looks a good soaring picture, and you can see from the predicted distance, yes, it's better out to the west, but I think the South Downs, if it's got enough north in it, should actually work both today and tomorrow. So better day for actually training and gliding and soaring, hopefully tomorrow with slightly less wind. And then Sunday was looking better a day or so ago. Very changeable picture. I think it's look out the window, folks, and see what you think. If you do go flying today, in terms of airspace, not really a lot around Lasham in terms of any restrictions or airspace activity, but there are a number of movements, and there's that many that I've had to actually write them down. So in theory, 727 coming in at 8:30 this morning. Hopefully that's already taken place. And then after that, sometime between 10 and 10:15, they'll have an Airbus A319, one of the EasyJet Airbus that's parked up. That will be going for a circuit. They have to fly them once every 3 months to reduce the level of maintenance that gets done on them. So sometime between 10:15, hopefully that should be taking off. 10 to 15 minute circuit, back in and land. After that, there's a 727 departure, time to be advised on that one, and an A320 arrival at around 12:30. So a lot going on. If you are going out to the launch point, keep a good eye out for the fire trucks, the strobe, and the activity on the airfield with the jets. If in doubt, don't drive around the airfield. Okay, so operationally today, they're going to be on 3-4. They'll be down here. Aero towing will be off the edge of the perimeter track here, and winching, if they're winching, will be just on the edge of the runway around here. If you need to get out to the launch point, if you're going to drive, please go around this way, around here, and park up in here and go across the launch point. If you're going to tow your glider out, if you're in this part of the airfield, just tow down here, or if you're up on the eastern end, tow across this runway, but be very, very careful. Wait here and make sure you're not going to conflict with an aero tow that's taking off. The problem with 3-4 is it's very, very restricted in terms of operating area here, and you really have to keep a good lookout when you're going out to the launch point. Okay, folks, hopefully you fly today. If not, I may see you tomorrow. I will be back working tomorrow, as my daughter had a negative COVID test. We got the result first thing this morning.